Today, we're diving into an ancient story that honestly feels like a supernatural blockbuster. It's this incredible tale that isn't just about magic tricks, but a real, high-stakes showdown over the very nature of reality itself.
So let's just start with the question that kicks this whole thing off. If the greatest magician in the land went head-to-head with a fully enlightened being, who's going to win? And we're not just talking about who's better at sleight of hand here. We're talking about who has a deeper, more fundamental grasp on what reality even is.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in the ancient Indian city of Rajgir. And here, there's this guy named Bhadra, a master illusionist who is just the best. Everyone, from the king on down, is totally captivated by him. Well, almost everyone. The followers of the Buddha? Not so much. And you can imagine, for a guy like Bhadra, that just doesn't sit right.
And this really gets to the heart of the conflict. On one side, you've got Bhadra. He's the pinnacle of human skill, right? He's all about craft, and he's totally fueled by pride. Then on the other side, you have the Buddha. He's not defined by his skill, but by his state of being, enlightened, compassionate, a teacher to literally everyone. One person masters illusion, the other one understands reality.
So, with his reputation on the line, Bhadra comes up with a plan. It's pretty simple, really. He's going to invite the Buddha and all his followers to a huge feast. But this isn't about hospitality. Oh no. The whole point is to use his mastery of illusion to create a spectacle so confusing and grand that he'll publicly embarrass the Buddha and prove once and for all who the real master is. And this quote just perfectly captures Bhadra's arrogance. When the Buddha accepts the invitation right away, no questions asked, Bhadra thinks to himself, got him. He fell right into my trap. He can't be all-knowing after all. He has absolutely no idea who he's dealing with. All right, so the stage is set. We're at the feast. Bhadra is setting up his big illusion, creating this magnificent venue out of thin air. But as we're about to find out, he isn't the only one who can play this game.
So Bhadra pulls out all the stops. He creates his masterpiece. But then, something totally unexpected happens. The four heavenly kings, these are like major celestial guardians. They show up to honor the Buddha. They see Bhadra's little show and decide to add their own divine magic on top of it, making it way more splendid. And then, if that wasn't enough, the god Indra himself descends and just one-ups everybody, transforming the entire place into a heavenly palace. Bhadra's magic has been totally hijacked.
Bhadra is stunned, humiliated. He tries to dispel his own illusion, to get back some control, but he can't. It's not his anymore. And in that moment of complete powerlessness, it finally clicks. He thinks this has to be because of the Tathagata. That's another name for the Buddha. He realizes he has picked a fight with a power that is so far beyond him.
So, the magic show is over. But this is where the real story begins. The Buddha isn't interested in proving he's a better magician. That was never the point. He's here to reveal a fundamental, mind-bending truth about existence itself. And here it is. This is the big reveal. The Buddha turns to the completely humbled Bhadra and essentially says, "You think you create illusions? Bhadra, everything is an illusion. Not because it isn't real, but because nothing exists on its own. Everything you see, feel, and experience is just a temporary projection, conjured up by an infinite web of causes and conditions all coming together at once." And he breaks it down even further. He's basically expanding the very definition of illusion. All living beings, we're a kind of illusion, manifested by our past actions, our karma. The community of monks, that's an illusion manifested by the teachings. Even the Buddha's physical body, he says, is an illusion manifested by wisdom. And the whole world we share, that's the biggest one of all. A grand collective illusion we are all creating together. It's a total paradigm shift.
Now, just telling someone this stuff is one thing, but to make Bhadra truly get it, the Buddha knows he has to give him a direct experience, something that will completely shatter his ordinary, everyday perception of the world.
So the Buddha uses his power to just fill Bhadra's entire world. Suddenly, there are Buddhas absolutely everywhere. On every leaf, on every wall, in the faces of the crowd, filling the sky. It's a complete sensory overload, and Bhadra's sense of a single, stable reality just completely dissolves.
And in this state of total confusion, surrounded by an infinite sea of Buddhas, Bhadra cries out this desperate, essential question. "Honored one, please, which one is you? Show me the true Buddha." He's begging to see what's real behind all these endless forms.
And the answer he gets is probably not what he was expecting. The Buddha doesn't point to one of the images. Instead, he introduces a concept, the Dharmakaya, or the body of truth. He explains that his true nature isn't any of these physical forms. It's the formless, timeless truth itself, the very essence of enlightenment, which you can't actually see with your eyes.
And to explain this, the Buddha uses this absolutely beautiful metaphor. He says that trying to see the true Buddha is like trying to find a bird's footprints in the sky. It's impossible, right? A bird doesn't leave tracks up there. The ultimate reality isn't an object you can perceive. It's a truth you have to realize. It leaves no trace in the world of forms.
This revelation just completely changes everything for Bhadra. He's gone from this proud, arrogant challenger to a truly humble student. He finally understands the difference between his worldly illusions and the ultimate truth. So he asks the Buddha, how do I walk that path? What do I do now?
And the Buddha gives him a roadmap. He lays out these 4 core commitments. And it's not just about saving yourself. It's about compassion for everyone. First, never lose your motivation for enlightenment. Second, never turn your back on anyone. Third, never stop working to cultivate goodness. And fourth, protect and uphold the teachings. This is basically the blueprint for the rest of his existence.
And after seeing this profound change of heart, this genuine understanding, the Buddha makes this incredible prediction. He declares that in 92,000 eons, an almost unimaginable amount of time after following this path, Bhadra himself will become a fully awakened Buddha. The man who started out as a challenger is now destined to achieve the very state he once tried to mock. And so, this incredible story leaves us with a question for ourselves, really. It kind of forces us to look at our own lives, the things we're so sure about, the identities we cling to, the things we chase. What are the illusions that we live by every single day? And more importantly, what would it actually mean to start seeing through them?